My name is Rhapsody, welcome back to Darkest Dungeon 2. In the last episode, we completed
Study the winding roads and routes of our kingdom. Find any advantage.
Full set of the 5 chapters with the Despairing Flare, that being our upgraded torch here of the Infernal Flame. This is effectively a risk-reward difficulty-ish kind of system. The next level of this would be Corpse Light. Touched by the Grave. So instead of getting plus 10 to negative relationship chances, negative 10 to positive relationship chances, as well as negative quirk chance at in being increased by 10%, on Meltdown, our characters getting Weaken and Vulnerable, on Resolute, them getting a crit and getting 10% extra Candles of Hope, we'll instead have none of those, but negative 20% to our max HP, negative 33% to our traveling heal, at combat start, Weaken. I think that's important. I want to draw a little bit of attention to that just before we move on. At combat start, Weaken. So someone who hits like a truck on turn 1, Leper, is probably not going to necessarily be prioritized here. On in-item usage, if it's a food item, get plus 1 speed and plus 25% disease resist until the next in. So this is incentivizing using food a lot more. Cool. I'm down with that. Very expensive at 40 to get the next level of Corpse Light though. Next thing I'm going to want to do is head over to the working fields.
Thing is to make it real once more.
Pick myself up 2 trinkets.
Every twinkling recollection is another implement at our disposal.
The Seaman's Boots. When moving, if your speed is at or below 2, a 66% chance to gain block. Same if it's at or above 6, a chance for dodge.
A welcome advancement in the science of survival.
Ooh. Indelible Trinket, Armor Serrated. Interesting. If the target has bleed, you have plus 15% to crit. However, apply it to attacker when hit, bleed. Apply on crit if you have the Bonesaw equipped to bleed. And gain on crit a 5% chance to get diseased. Interesting. I'm not certain. Do we have Bonesaw unlocked yet?
Sanity in a sea of madness.
Spore Grenade, explosive noxious for the entire enemy party, 3 turns of 3 blight.
New instruments will help us diagnose the world's affliction.
Same thing but bleed, and it's called the Scrap Grenade. Okay, so now we have 43 left over.
Wisdom will help you choose a path. Resourcefulness will ensure you survive it.
I'm not so certain I want... Well, actually, let's just think about which heroes we're going to want to take on this screen, right? Because Flagellant seems obviously great, because I don't have to worry about the low damage numbers. I can just rely on the large blight numbers. Ultimately, it does look like I'll be running some sort of a DOT build. So Flagellant's either our first or second liner, probably. Which means our frontliner, in terms of not caring about their damage and being a frontliner, I mean, Man-at-Arms. Not that I have a problem with that, just feels like Man-at-Arms is a solution to almost every problem. That said, that does buy us some guards, some blocks, some combo removal. No, I probably wouldn't go with the riposte builds. I was about to say possibly riposte. Nope, that's not what I'm looking for. Highwayman, I mean, yeah, I theoretically could just get you to take aim and, get a strength token, knock out your negative. Our backline really feels like it's Plague Doctor and someone else, right? Who's that someone else? I really want to take the Occultist back out because the Occultist still has the unlocks to get, and no one else has any of their Hero Shrine unlocks remaining. So is that our party already determined? Man-at-Arms, Flagellant, Occultist, and then backline Plague Doctor? So our stress management strategy is the typical Flagellant plus Man-at-Arms, managing to use Bolster as well as Endure to take stress off of other characters and then put it on the Flagellant, and then take stress off of the Flagellant. We have a lot of healing in that party. We have some great synergy between the Flagellant and the Plague Doctor. The Occultist feels wrong in this build. The Occultist doesn't feel right. Doesn't feel like it's well situated here. Yet. I do feel like it's required. I wonder if maybe I run the range damage version of the Occultist in order to amplify the damage to the backline that the Flagellant and the Plague Doctor can put out. I have to imagine that's not going to be especially necessary. Anyway, with all of those upgrades, with that team chosen, rather, I now know that I'm not going to need to upgrade the Grave Robber or Highwayman here.
Souls, and yet our fortunes ride with them.
So perhaps I'll unlock the next couple of creatures. I don't really want to start doing cosmetic things until I have nothing else that I can do. The optimizer in my heart demands that of me. I mean, I do miss the Shrieker. I don't miss having to get all my trinkets back from the Shrieker in DD1, but I miss the Shrieker. He's a good dog. Mucilaginous Slime as well. Sure, let's unlock those two.
It cannot fight, but perhaps it can calm.
So Shrieker Chick. Plus 2% crit per scouting gear item equipped, and plus 2 to the quantity of looted baubles. Mucilaginous Slime is plus 5% to debuff resistance per road gear item equipped, and increased chance of looting items from road debris. Neat. With our 23 remaining...
Spare a thought for tools of iron. Such implements will serve us well.
Let's finish the Highwayman. And get close to finishing the Grave Robber. Okay, this place is really taking shape. We've only got like...
To recall a thing is to make it real once more.
10 more candles to invest into the working fields until we have absolutely everything from there unlocked. We've barely got anything left to invest in the Living City. That's another 26
and failure
in order to have that complete.
Portion.
So within this run, I will be easily completing the two of those.
Wisdom will help you choose a path. Resourcefulness will ensure you survive it.
As well as hopefully unlocking the next candle, the Doom candle, for the run after this. That said, all of that is chicken, horse, etc.
The road calls once more to its dark passenger.
To mix my idioms, let's head on. I'm ready to confess some cowardice.
Study your decline carefully, that you may fully
coward.
understand its nature.
That's the Chapter 5 speedrun. Completed. Half a second right now.
What world could be born of a mind so sharpened by appetence?
Appetence? That's a word I've never heard before.
The crossroads, where lost souls hope to find their way.
We have our, Flagellant. 5% chance every round to run Field Surgeon and heal another unit. Is lazy, isn't motivated to do that much. Obviously still coming out on the team. There's Al-Hazred.
To know the abyss, one must embrace it.
Alright, so we're probably gonna, Slugger. Melee skills apply on hit, 5% chance to stun, and melee skills 5% chance extra to crit as well. Oh no. Aspirant, extra max HP, extra damage on melee skills, Amnesis, which I still haven't unlocked, gets extra damage as well. I mean, oh man. I am eventually probably gonna need a character that just does straight damage to something. Because like...
Pride. More devastating than the horrors of 100 campaigns.
Currently what I've constructed is a party that is ideally looking for a very long fight. And if anything has blight resist, God forbid. A role that revels in divesting others of their burdens. Sepsis, Deathless, Suffer and Lash's gift. So Deathless, right, this is now a heal to both units. Lash's gift removes DOTs on the self exclusively as well, at the cost of a horror. That said, that horror is used for building up your toxic state, which is changed in some important variety, apparently. Got it. So steal pretty much any of the DOTs from the other characters, not especially different. Undying was not changed. I mean, I don't really see that especially powerful. I guess it really depends on the new effects of the toxic state. Sacrifices blight potency in favor. No, I think I do want the Flagellant to just take enough damage to be on low HP and get extra blight dealt and different effects from that. How do we intend to deal with corpses? That's a big question. One way to do that would be Magnesium Rain. Clears corpses whilst dealing damage. I mean, another way to do that is also Fester, but it takes one of the very, very, very what's the word? Competitive. There we go. Competitive action slots from a Flagellant. So let's just manifest something on the board. Let's just see what's up. Okay, so Punish, Acid Rain, both of those need to be tagged. More is a fundamental healing skill that we're going to be using here, and it's also heavily synergistic with trying to get our character onto low HP. Love it. Necrosis. Do I ever get blight on so many of these characters that it's time for Necrosis? Endure obviously needs to be tagged, and then some sort of healing skill for another unit. So Deathless. Right. Classic Flagellant. Man-at-Arms, you're evasive. 2 dodge plus tokens at the very start. You got a flawed release, that's fine. Lower damage, higher movelessness. Movelessness is very, very important. It fundamentally changes multiple fights. The especially large effect that comes to mind is the Leviathan fight, but there are so many others. Also bolsters your bolster skill. There's shield attacks doing extra damage. So that would be something like Rampart. Is it just Rampart? Is Rampart the only shield attack we have? Rampart and I assume Courageous Abandon. I don't really know about that. Vanguard, extra damage. No, it's definitely Sergeant. I just didn't want to leave it on, especially because the Man-at-Arms is going to be running a relatively familiar kind of build to us. So is the Flagellant. I just didn't want to leave it unexamined. So we'll be looking for Rampart as a reposition tool. We'll be looking for Defender, Bolster. Defender, obviously, managing the targets of enemies. Bolster for stress reduction. And then I'd love Bellow, Stand Fast to be our remaining 2. Heading to Al-Hazred. Really, the only reason I'd want to go Ritualist is not for the healing, it's for the application of debuffs, specifically the 10% debuff resistance piercing. And then we would just run the Occultist as a debuff character. Again, a thing we've done before. Alternative path is the Aspirant, which I mentioned previously. There's also Warlock, in case I wanted to go for just range damage on this character. Straight up range damage. Casting Malediction on a target so that whenever they're damaged, they take additional DOTs. Seems pretty good. It just seems difficult also to build a character who can consistently generate that. Unless, like, I'm setting up combo on people to be sack-stabbed off, which I'm not really doing. Dang. I really wish I just had these unlocked so I could try and justify running a different version of this. Because our Flagellant is very position prone. I don't want the Flagellant moving, which means I don't want my Occultist moving, which means I think I am just going to be going with Ritualist. I'm not going to be over the moon about it, but I will do it. Demon's Ball is another good way to clear the corpses. It's also a really good repositioning tool, so I think I will leave that tagged. And then gain the Vulnerability Hex instead, heading over to the Plague Doctor. Stress Knitter, that eating needles fly when the stress is high. Oh, 10% chance to miss the mark and become blind at the start of a turn, don't like that. Classic Alchemist path, we've got to get the Blight Resistance Piercing. Blinding Gas gets dropped, Incision gets dropped. I keep Bouncer Prevention consistently, but I seldom use it. Plague Grenade, let's pick that up. Disorienting Blast. Or shuffling the target, dazing them, and weakening them at 25% of the time. Alternatively, if they have combo, I could try and stun them with a Disorienting Blast. Indiscriminate Science, remove all positive tokens, remove all positive and negative tokens on the upgraded version of that. And heal with respect to that. I think Blinding Gas and Magnesium Rain might be the final two I want here. Alright. This is so traditional of a party. I feel a little bit strange about it. However, when we are asked to do blight damage, specifically when you are told you're all going to be weakened at the start of combat, so you should probably make plans to do very little damage with your first attack. At least attack damage, and start dealing DOT damage instead. This is where we're gonna end up. Major Sean is back. Actually, what's the rank above Major? General? Oh god. You know what? Major General. Major General. Oh, can't even get that far. Okay. General Sean. I hope that's higher. I'm not a militaristic knower. Or word knower, as the case may be. Next up is Sorathil of Legend. Excellent. Our Occultist is 3D. And finally, we have Paracelsus Ninu Tristan. Alright, let's head out.
You came here seeking solace, but found stagnation instead.
So apply to attacker when hit, a bleed. Apply on crit if the Bonesaw is equipped, 2 bleed. I'm not going to plan around that. When moving? Hopefully none of us really do that. And I don't have anyone who has the right amount of speed to really be affected by that move. So I'll just put both of these on Major Sean. Let's get Tristan to hold the Spore Grenade. Let's get Sorathil to hold the Scrap Grenade. And trudge on forwards. Alright. I'm feeling pretty good about this run. Especially because I feel like we're finally going to have the Occultist complete.
With
Yay!
open arms.
I just want to see the final abilities. Only 2 hero shrines required.
Denial is giving way.
Ah, right, I haven't got the Corpse Light Torch yet. That makes sense. Let me just make sure no one has a... Ooh, Killing Blow on Fanatics, Gentry, Oasis, Sepsis. Okay, never mind. I can just treat this fight normally. or resist. Rude.
Collaboration confers advantage.
And you managed to blight me? What? There we go, probably easy to burn him. Love to see that all the characters have to attack from very far in the back, because that is not the position where they can try and even deal stress damage. Alright, 1 down.
Malaise,
2 down.
measured and steady.
3 down. And no stress? Hell yeah.
The smallest variable can make all the difference.
That'll do for us, frankly. A daze on that target will make it a lot easier to punish them for the crime of existence.
Empowered, emboldened.
I gave everyone pretty much as many chances to form a relationship with one another over the course of that fight as possible.
Unpleasant in the extreme. This work
Alas.
is noble and necessary.
We pick up 2 mastery for the job. So stress is definitely going to have to be one of the first things that I manage, so I'm thinking the bolster upgrade as soon as possible.
Lower your guard. Soften your gaze. It is safe here.
Especially because of how much the utility of bolster is enhanced by having endure as well to get one target to stack stress on themselves. Outside of that though, I'm not so certain.
Precious relics remind us of a time before the end.
Interesting. We've got the mucilaginous slime, the unnatural owlet, and the orphan wolf cub. I see some Tinker's gear, 2 pieces of no wait. 1 Tinker, 1 luxury, 1 food, 1 road. Okay, so we don't have an overload of any individual amount of gear. That said, Tinker's bench increases stacking for contraptions by 2 per stack, as well as the chance to increase to produce contraptions. And on top of that, we have the unnatural owlet, extra debuff resistance piercing for each Tinker's gear item equipped. So we could pretty much guarantee that all of our debuffs strike through to the enemies. A lot of the time, at least. I could see myself being all about that life.
Every road a winding torment. Every turn bent on our destruction.
Emancipation. The indelible trinket for the flagellant. If HP is below 20%, 25% extra damage, the flagellant never really... I guess this is good for sepsis, maybe? It's extra damage on sepsis? It's just the flagellant doesn't really want to cast damage when they're on low HP often. Target on the punish skill, so this is the default blight to the front couple lines. Steal positive token. The fact that we can steal a positive token with that is actually huge. Also negative 20% to bleed resist. All I need to do there is avoid the watchtower in order to get that. Corrupting. Negative 20 to blight resist in this entire area. That's not just for me, that's for the enemies. The Shroud is of course the area where the Leviathan is not going to be capable of knocking General Sean out of line. We are rather going to have some difficulty with the hand in that fight.
Experience, however painful, is the greatest teacher of all.
I've just got to make sure that I can actually do it. Because that is definitely the best outcome we can get. but I should make sure it doesn't end up killing us to even try. Tinker's Bench. Pyrotechnic Dazzler. Ooh. Incendiary Cocktail, maybe? I just don't see the tools here to especially make myself more powerful against the Leviathan. I do see good tools here, I just don't see that specific kind of power being offered. I suspect, I mean, I'm definitely taking the Corpse Light.
A sound investment in roads yet untraveled.
I believe I will be taking the Unnatural Owlet as well as the Tinker's Bench.
Your coach must be maintained if it is to carry you where you must go.
I could get some additional speed as well as debuff resistance as well as just HP on my characters with some food. And I think especially that is extra incentivized by the... You already have quite high debuff resistance in the backline there, so you can just get the stale bread, Tristan. Already incentivized by the Corpse Light. They will still try to blight some of our characters, so I'm going to give the extra blight resist to General Sean. Is there anything additional? Like, maybe I should just take a triage kit or an incendiary cocktail. Try and make my time a little bit easier. Alternatively, I could hold on to a little bit of money. Remove a negative quirk. Actually, we want to do that. Lazy Eye on Tristan. Sorry, misses the mark, rather. 10% chance to become blinded at the start of each round. Do I maybe just want to get people to drink together? Damn it. Okay, the crit on the second bottle of whiskey eliminated the bad roll on the first. I still feel like one of these needs to be damage, and then one of these needs to be... one of these needs to be stress defensive in bolster.
The barnacled timbers of the coastal villages are sodden with salt and secrets.
Especially if I expect I'm going to be taking like a pretty large risk in the first area, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me to not then prepare myself as well as I possibly can for it. Because, you know, worst case scenario, I get to the Leviathan, I end up dying, and I've got, you know, 55 baubles in the bank and 85 relics. And it's like, well, I mean, I could have done something about this, maybe.
In noxious degradation.
Wow, literally? We're just going to the Oasis immediately? Thankfully, the Oasis does not guarantee that I have to take a Watchtower path. Sorry, the Oasis, the lair, rather. We've got really good disease resist on Sorathil. I suspect...
Analysis is invaluable until it becomes an excuse for inaction.
You might be a better target. And then the Seaman's Boots, we'll put those on 3D in case 3D ends up getting moved by another target on the field. I mean, picking up Loathing right before I go to an area where I can clear Loathing, it's basically like a free path. I have no problem with that, obviously. Woof.
The Church of the Change. An inglorious heap of rotting timbers.
Tough first battle here. Perhaps I should just heavy target the captain. Yep. Oh boy. Yeah. Let's try and reposition some of these enemies. Dodge that sucker punch. Actually, their burn resist is significantly more likely to activate than their blight resist, so I think I will persist with the blighting. Okay, that cabin boy in the back line has exactly 1 turn where it's allowed to gain some tokens. If I can get 2 more damage on it, I can prevent it from ever really having an effect in this fight. That's enough. And the second bosun's already dead now.
Cooperation is the key.
Let's get a daze on that captain if we can. Didn't manage to. Lowering the HP of Sorathil before we go into the next fight is actually ideal. I would love to see more of that. It just didn't feel appropriate to waste so much just using a plague grenade on one character up there in the back line. There goes the captain, and we've got our flagellant below half HP, which is exactly where I want them to be. They now do 2 extra blight with all of their blighting skills. Significantly increased damage output potential. Unfortunately, I don't have any skill I can use for a Wharf Rat that is that close. I guess I can weaken you. Nice. 1 positive relationship charge for the relationship that's gotten off to the worst start so far. Still need to manage your health a little bit, buddy. I don't really want to take stress off of the Man-at-Arms. The Flagellant wants to take stress off of everyone else, and the Man-at-Arms wants to build stress, and then the Man-at-Arms and the Flagellant de-stress at the same time. Oh, we can just resist the incoming weak at the very start, which is nice, especially for these 2 backliners who have the higher debuff resistance. I think I'm just going to heavily deposition the Fishmonger. Yeah. There we go, you get to use your fish guts and move backwards. And I get to blight you severely. You get exactly 1 turn of action. But that's not enough to set up a crit and then execute it, so we're all good. Oh, that's a buff. All hands on, that's a big buff. 2 crit tokens on the backliners, sodden rigging, strikes, crits as well. It's a lot of stress, but we resist all of the other negative impacts. This will deal no damage to the Fishmonger, which is exactly the amount I don't want to deal. Let's have General Sean stand fast, start gaining some defenses.
The Leviathan's breath thickens the air.
Oh boy.
A master stroke.
Captain's having a wee bit of difficulty up there. Being able to throw out a Magnesium Rain could kill many targets, and in fact it does. There goes the Fishmonger, for example. For example. Let's get Sorathil to demand that the enemy's damage.
Collaboration confers advantage.
Bellow at the enemies, try and buy myself some speed over the top of them. Hey. Seven HP, but no bleed, that's good enough.
Cooperation is the key.
Rampart for a daze against that target. The Acid Rain guarantees... doesn't guarantee? No, it does guarantee the death of the captain still. I'm gonna go for a Battlefield Medicine rather than trying to get some extra early damage on the final bosun here. Yeah, because all it's doing is healing us. Let's endure some stress off of the occultist, who will then set up good old weakening curse. It's just I don't want to move the target, so I don't really want to rampart him. Wow, Noxious Blast still miss. Okay, we now have access to it. Never mind, I was about to say, now have access to the stress heal. Great crit. Does nothing. Good work, though. Hey, got another dodge for having to move me. I know we can theoretically crit and gain
We can rely only upon
relationship off the back of that, but we can gain relationship by setting up a debuff and then striking it down. His Prison. Oh, His Prison, the indelible trinket for the Flagellant. Apply to attacker when hit, 1 blight received. Plus 1 to blight received for 3 turns. 33% chance to apply that. On self, more gives a damage token and plus 10% to negative banter. So you want to take this off from time to time. Flashing Tides, increase combat for... stacking for combat items per stack. Worktable Loom is a luxury item, unfortunately. Nautical Compass, which we've seen the power of before, giving randomly at turn end either block, crit, dodge, damage, or 1 stress. And then finally, oh, beautifully, finally the Sodden Sweater. Plus 50% to bleed and movement resist. On bleed resist, heal 10%. On movement resist, stress out 1 less. I'm so keen. This might be way too big of a risk to immediately take as well, by the way. I hope it's not. But I could totally see it being so. Weaken you, failing to hit in the weaken there. Spore Grenade would hit an AoE. There's Noxious Blast. I feel like wherever possible I should be eking in damage because it's going to be necessary. This is actually still a way to eke in extra damage. 2 stress off, as well as a weaken removed from each of us. Now unveiling the ability to punish directly. Oh, that's huge. That's a 3 blight for 5 turns, 15 damage.
Collaboration confers advantage.
Roll Defender on the second line target here just to try and guarantee that the Leviathan's hand doesn't overwhelm us. I think this is going to be the most dangerous fight that I face in this area, so I think I'm going to expend my Scrap Grenade and my Toxic Mushroom here. The hand takes 2 actions in a single turn. Neither of those actions are really going to be particularly important to the state of the field. Wow, they both resisted the bleed. Rude. And the blight. Doubly rude. Demon's Pool adds a token to the backline enemy. There we go. That's the blight I was looking for. Tidal Surge comes up. That's a bunch of stress and a disease. Was that Algal Bloom? The hand manages to strike the exact backline. I did not know the hand could do that. Bit of a nightmare of infinite turns from the enemy right now. As soon as the hand has to act, I get my Plague Doctor back, though. Which is really important, because I need that.
A master stroke.
Solid crit for 8 damage. Welcome back, Plague Doctor.
Unforeseen
What?!
Complication.
I see. Well, this is not an ideal state of things. Unfortunately, I can't use the healing salve on myself there.
Lenity. Grace. Small acts that drive back the darkness.
The amount of fixing my own party I have to do here in order to remain competitive in any way, I think is going to prevent me from also accomplishing anything. I suspect we are doomed. I mean, I'm not thrilled about it, mind. I'd rather that not be the case.
Empowered, emboldened.
But I don't see much use in pretending that not to be the case. We have almost no damage available with our remaining characters, especially if this character is ever out of position, which they are often.
And now.
Oh, we're on death's door, and we're toxic. Get mad. I mean, hey, look. Can a single flagellant do enough damage to prevent this from being a problem? Sure, maybe. Yeah, sure. Why not? Let's say yes. More. Why don't you hit me? Yes. Can you give him back? I need him for DOT damage. Oh. Boy.
Steady yourself.
That's a lot of stress. They're dead though. I get him back. And he's got all those pain on him. Two HP, now he's off death's door. I don't know, it's winnable. Enemy's on half HP, as long as... Oh, I'm back to death's door. Well, we blighted the enemy. That's a lot of pain. I'm pretty sure right now, if I try and attack, I have a chance of just dying instantly. But again, that's where we're at.
An interminable conflict.
Yes. Hey, we resisted it!
The enemy weakens and wanes.
Okay, the blight connected again. Love to see that. I'm gonna try and start working through this hand.
This road cannot be walked alone.
Yeah.
At last, the thing is finally passed on.
I just don't really have the damage to reach the backline to complete this at all now. I could have healed the flagellant there instead with the occultist. Which, if I was still looking to survive, might have been the ideal. God damn it.
Fight through the fatigue.
Don't you dare try and make me believe.
Hold fast, for who knows what lurks in the beyond.
I mean, yeah, one flagellant capable of striking there. Might have got us through this fight. I'm not so certain I would have made it through the rest of the chapter,
It's a rare and wonderful thing.
considering this is the first location. My God. My team believes so much more than I did.
Sweat-soaked brows.
Oh, God.
Unsteady stances. Exhaustion takes hold.
2 damage. Need 5 more damage.
Steady yourself.
Realistically, we just need the enemy to resolve their turns fast. Oh, okay. 4 more HP. There we go.
They have given
And
them
now I cannot even reach them. My just desserts. He's gonna go resolute again, is he? God damn it! Why can I not get these when there are people living? You know what this is? This is the game saying, you thought you thought the situation was too bad to continue? I'm gonna prove otherwise, because that is now the more painful thing I can do in this situation. Well played, game. You gosh dang got me.
once again, teetering on that terrible precipice. Through a adversity and affliction, the heart beats still.
Somehow, there we go.
At last, the battlefield has claimed its due. Do not despair. There is nobility in the attempt.
Very kind of you to say, Wayne. Very generous of you to say. Alright. 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 Okay.
Stagnant and sprawling, this hellish abyss extends beyond sanity itself.
What if I just got one cosmetic skin unlocked? I'm very likely to still use the flagellant in my next attempt. There you go. Wait, there's more than one? Oh. Interesting. Well, let's see the first of the cosmetic options there for the flagellant in the next episode when we attempt to draft a party that has a little bit more success at a similar kind of attempt. Specifically, at running with the corpse light.
Of our kingdom. Find any advantage.
Until then, though, my name is Rhapsody. The name of the game has been Darkest Dungeon 2. Top left is a series playlist for all my content of the game past, present, future. YouTube recommendation down below stream past. Are the names of the people so generously supporting the Republic on patreon.com/RhapsodyPlays, and our brother thanked in. A special thanks this episode to Moms. Hopefully you all have been enjoying yourselves, and hopefully we'll see you all next time.